What's up guys, E-Man Gaming here, and I decided to start up a tutorial series for Terraria. Really just, I feel like that Terraria is kind of a hard game for new players to get into, and I decided that I want to do like just a playthrough, at least pre-hard mode, and just talk about my personal strategies, how I like to play the game. I'll go over different classes, all that kind of stuff, but for the most part, I'm just going to really jump right in. So I've got my I've already made a character for this. Right here. I'm going to favor him real quick. So I've got my character. Right, and I'm going to create a new world, and I'll talk about how the series is going to go while the world's being created. Okay, see this tutorial world right here. I don't know how to... I'm just going to unfavor it. I tried to do another video, but it didn't really work, so I'm just going to make a new world. We'll call this... tutorial world. We'll just call it version 2, I guess. We'll do 2.0. Alright, so then do that. We'll do it on small size, because you're going to want to do small size if you're just playing by yourself. Difficulty, we're going to go with normal. Expert mode is way harder. So that's all we have to do for the world creation, so we're just going to hit create and start it off. So basically how the series is going to go is I'm just going to play through the game basically like I normally do, and I'm just going to talk about different strategies that I use and just how I play the game, but I won't just go over what I do. I'll also talk about, at least briefly cover what other people do, like other strategies for different types of fighting, and it's been a pretty chill series. Just want to, because like I said earlier, Terraria is a tough game to get into usually. Like, it can, unlike other games like Minecraft, you can't just like, it's a lot harder of a game, especially on harder difficulties. So I just wanted to be able to help people who are new to the game, and even if you already play Terraria a lot, you just want to learn about how other people play the game. And the series works as well. So I think I'll meet you guys on the other side after the world is done creating. So it looks like our world is just about done being made. I want to add that, so if you notice on the left-hand side of the loading bar, it's red, and on the right-hand side it's green. So the red means that we have a crimson world. You can also get a corruption world, and they're interchangeable. And I mean, I kind of prefer crimson just because I'm more used to it. I usually, for some reason, I get it more often, but it's a 50-50 chance. And I might cover some stuff about corruption if you happen to get that world. But so we're just about to get into the game as soon as it's done loading, and this episode will cover the first night, how to get through your first night, and because the first night's really often the hardest in Terraria, because it's really easy to just lose track of time and then not be prepared, and then the sun sets and you get killed by a zombie and demonized and they gang up on you. And I think it's probably happened to everybody who's played this game. I know it's happened to me before. I often die on the first night. It's just, you're going to die a lot in Terraria. Again, I'm going to compare this to Minecraft because it's just so easy to compare it to Minecraft because they're very similar. But you don't die very often in Minecraft, at least not usually. Like, you die more often in Terraria. You can strategize dying in Terraria. That's how often you do it. But so we're just about to pop into the world here. So I'll just go over the first thing that we're going to want to do. Here we go. So here it is. I'm going to fade into this world. And we'll hit play, just load up the world. And the first thing you're going to want to do, your first day in Terraria, is chop some wood. Always got to chop wood, just like in Minecraft, but in Terraria you're going to want a lot of it. Because basically everything you do in the early game revolves around wood. Okay, so here we are in our world. There's me. By the way, I am playing this on mobile. I do own the PC version, but I play on mobile more, so I'm more comfortable with it. So here's our guide. Let's see what his name is. Garrett. So he'll help you out in the game. He'll give you tips. He'll help you. If you hit crafting, you can just tap on an item and he'll tell you everything you can craft with it. You'll notice it says hurtful copper short sword. So that hurtful is a modifier. And that means that the modifiers can be good or bad. I got a good one, so it does plus 20% damage. But I'll talk more about that later. So first off, you'll start out with a sword, a pickaxe, and an axe. Now what you're going to want to do is take the pickaxe and just start chopping down trees. you're going to want to chop down a lot of trees. I don't have an exact number. You maybe want somewhere between 80 and 100 wood, just to be safe. So you're going to want to build, preferably you'll have enough to build a sword, or a bow or something like that, some armor, some wooden armor, and a house. And I'll get to the house making in a minute. But basically, there's 4 different classes in Terraria, and they are melee, who also uses swords and yo-yos and stuff like that, close range stuff. The class differences are much bigger, more of a bigger thing later on in the game. But then you have ranged, who uses like bows, guns, stuff that requires ammo, and then you've got mage users who use magic things that take up mana. You'll see this blue star up in the top right is my mana. You can get more mana crystals as you collect fallen stars. Over the top you see I have 5 hearts. You can get a maximum of 20 hearts in pre-hard mode, which would add up to 400 health. And you see the guy here, NPCs can defend themselves in Terraria, so they can actually fight back. So you shooting with a bow. You can also do it just by attacking the enemies. During the daytime, all you're going to really see are slimes in pre-hard mode. Once you get into nighttime, we'll see some zombies and demon eyes. So I didn't notice I had this much wood, so I've got about 150 wood, which is plenty for what we need to do. So the first thing you're going to want to do is build a crafting table, a workbench they call it. So I'm going to craft one of those, and I've got some slime, so I'm also going to make you're always going to want to make as many torches as you can when you first start off. So we're going to take the crafting table, put it down right here, and what this will do is allows us to craft a bunch more. You saw as soon as I place it down, a bunch more options for crafting popped up. And you're going to want to build a house. So a house in Terraria must be at least 6 blocks high and 10 blocks wide, must have background walls, a table, and the crafting table counts as a table, a chair, and a light source. So we're going to want to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 up, then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then we're going to build down. I'll just leave that there. And then we're going to go to the crafting table, and we're going to want to craft. So I already have a table, so we're going to need a chair. There's a slime in here. So we have a table, and we just crafted a chair. We're going to want 2 doors for this house. And I'll get to the other stuff in a second, so we're going to put some doors down so these slimes can't get in here. Slimes can be really annoying when you're building houses, but so I'm going to put a door down right here like that, and then that way they can't get in, but I can. Then I'll put the other door on the other end here. No, I don't want that. Oh. Okay, there we go. So now I'll put the chair down here. What we're trying to do, we're building this house because we want our guide to move in to the house. You can get NPCs to move in. You'll get a bunch of NPCs throughout the game. And then we're going to want to craft a bunch of these background walls. That should be enough. And then I'll craft a few more torches as well. You can never have too many torches. I'll make a campfire as well. Campfires help with a bit of health regen. I usually just stick one on top of my house, the first house that I build. They minorly increase your health regen. It's not required, but I just like doing it. I'm going to put a torch. I like putting a torch in each corner, and then you just fill it out with background walls. Like that. And then, let me remove this. Oh, I accidentally. Oh my gosh, there's a worm there. Hold on, let me craft I'm going to do this anyway. Let me craft a wooden sword. So this is I got forceful on this, so that's good. So this is better than my copper short sword, and its swing is a lot better. So I'm just going to get that, and then I can see if I can kill this worm. That's annoying. I don't want to kill him, but I kind of have to. Okay, so there's 2 of them. Okay, so they're on. Put these back. Okay, so now that we've got this done, and if you want to check to see if your house is suitable for someone to move in, you just go into your inventory like this, tap on this, and then no, not this. You find this house button right here. You tap on query, and then you tap on your house, and it says this housing is suitable. That means that it's good for someone to move in. So then I can just tap on the guide's picture, put him there, and our guide now lives in this house. So this is our guide's house, and now we've got this done, I'm going to craft some armor. I'm going to craft some wooden armor. Wooden armor is not the best. It gives you like 3 defense, but it's a good start. It makes you a little more comfortable when you're out there doing stuff. I'm missing something. Oh, I don't know that's for the last piece. Alright, I'm gonna go get some more wood. So apparently, what I said about getting 100 wood, you don't want 100 wood. You're probably gonna want at least 150. But it sounds like a lot, but it's not too hard to get. So let's chop down this last tree. Okay, so back to the classes. So I prefer melee classes for basically everything except for boss fights. I usually go with range. But so I use a sword as my main weapon. But say you're a melee class, I mean a ranged class, you're not gonna have any access to guns right out of the gate. So you're gonna want to get a bow. So I'm just gonna craft a bow real quick. I won't be using it really, but we got a bow, and I'm gonna, so now I have okay, so I'm kind of jumping around here, but I'm gonna talk about armor now. So I've got this armor. So if I go into my inventory and then I tap on this is the armor and accessories and all that stuff. So you can see this helmet gives me 1 defense, the breastplate gives me 1 defense, and the boots don't actually give me any defense. But because I have all 3 of them, I have a full set, which gives me which adds an extra defense for this set. So that'll give me a total of 3 defense. And at this point, you really have everything you need for the first night. I think it's already getting to about evening. And for magic users, for mage users, hold on, lost my train of thought. For mage users, you're gonna want to. You can't really get anything right off the bat, but just make sure to collect fallen stars every night. Keep an eye out for them because they will increase your mana. You want to get to maximum mana as fast as possible, which I believe is 10, which is 10 star crystals. And then for summoners, until the 1.4 update comes out, you guys are pretty much at a loss at the beginning because the only really accessible summoning weapon right out of the gate is the slime staff, which can draw you off from any slime, but it has, I believe, a 1 in 10,000 chance to drop. Very rare. So summoners are really going to be using a bunch of different weapons until they can get either you can get something from the underworld that's a summoning weapon, and you can get something from the Queen Bee, which is a boss that's a summoning weapon, but you won't get those until later in pre-hard mode. Hard mode has a lot more summoning weapons, and they're going to be adding a lot more in the upcoming 1.4 update, which it'll actually only be released on PC. But it'll come to other stuff later on. I might make a video on that. And so at this point, I'm just going to go around and start, I guess, just going to explore a little bit, see if I can find, you can find chests just lying around. Oh, this looks like something down here. It's just a little sparkling. It's getting evening though, so I'm going to want to head back soon, but this is some ore right here, I believe. Yeah, tin ore. So tin ore is the lowest tier of ore. It can also be copper. Basically, most of the ores in Terraria are interchangeable. Like you have a 50-50 chance, just like Crimson and Corruption. So I have tin. I'm gonna collect this. I'll usually make a weapon out of it, but I don't always. I'll usually just go straight from wooden armor to iron armor, or it's either iron or lead that you can get in your world. So on the first day, I'll usually just go out a little bit in each direction. Here's some. This looks like iron right here, actually, or is this tin? This is more tin. You can't really craft anything with this. You're gonna want an anvil, but we won't get an anvil until we have some iron. So that's a bit off. That's a little bit off. So, but wooden armor and whatever else you want. I guess for weapons, it doesn't really matter. I would go for melee. Usually, I go with a wooden sword because it's just really easily accessible. You'll notice it's getting to evening. I'm just gonna explore a bit off to the right, and then I'll head back to our house. I won't show the entire night because it's really just for the first night. You'll be staying inside your house most of the time. So here's a giant tree. You can find these in your world. Sometimes they have stuff underneath them. This one doesn't. And you'll find these pots as well. They'll have a few different things, but what I'm really wanting is a chest. See, okay, the background just changed. That means I'm coming up on a desert biome. You can see right here. I would avoid desert biomes your first few days. So I didn't find anything really. Another thing you're gonna want to get as fast as possible. You can find them in chests. Sometimes is a magic mirror or an ice mirror. Because they will teleport you home instantly without using recall potions, which you don't have any right away usually. Let me check. No, I don't have any. But so I'm gonna get one of those. And the music will also change when it gets nighttime. So while I wait for that, I'm going to talk about some more things. So I'm playing on mobile, but this will work for anybody as of right now. all systems, everything's on 1.3. Mobile's a bit behind on like the smaller updates, but this tutorial will still work for all other systems. However, I believe in about 20 days as of recording this, a little over maybe, PC is going to get the final Terraria update 1.4, and that's going to change a bunch of stuff. So this tutorial might not work for PC users coming up, but anybody else this will still work for. And I might, if I have the time, I might make a second tutorial series on 1.4 using a computer. But until then, and the NPCs will automatically see he's walking back to his house. And the music just changed, and the last thing you can check is he said you should stay indoors at night. It's very dangerous to be wandering around in the dark. That means it is nighttime, and you should probably get indoors because you will die quickly. What I just usually like to do is just stand at the door and just hit some enemies. You can occasionally get some good drops, mostly it's just for money. You'll need money for the second NPC we're gonna get in our little town here. But yeah, so the first NPC we're gonna get, we won't get him in this episode. Maybe the next one. Probably the next one is going to be the merchant, and for that you'll need 50 silver. You can see I only have 1. So, but that'll be in the next episode. So I'm just gonna craft some more torches. I usually want to have as many torches as possible. I just ran out of wood, so I can't get any more. But I'll just keep killing some zombies. You might see some demon eyes. Demon eyes are a bit much to take on this early. They also drop arrows. So you see, this is a bow. I'll just go over this real quick, see if I can find another enemy. I might have to get out a little bit because they don't like to spawn near NPCs or light sources. I think I just heard one. But this is a bow, and I can lock on with this stuff. I don't want to kill a rabbit though, so I'm just gonna... No, I can't find any monsters, so you just tap on the bow, and if it's locked onto a target, it'll automatically hit it like that. Sometimes you can get your arrow back. That thing. See, that time I didn't get my arrow back. I hear a zombie, I'll shoot a zombie with there, so that's what that looks like. I don't like using them, but I do like them in boss fights. I usually use a lot of guns in boss fights, but we'll get to guns a lot later. I'm going to put this before I end the video, so just like 30 seconds after I finished recording, I was just killing some zombies, just waiting out the night, and I got this. So this is a shackle. This is a warding shackle, so this is actually going to be an extra 5 defense, which is really good. You can put shackles in your accessory slot. You have 5 accessories. I'll just drag it over. You can double tap it, but it just goes, I believe, right no, not right there. It goes right there. And these accessories are going to be really, really helpful because they'll give you helpful buffs and other stuff like that. So you can see I'm now up to 8 defense. And so I just wanted to make a note of that. I was hoping I was going to get one of those on my first night. So, alright, back to the video. That's all you're going to need to survive your first night in Terraria. At this point, you just really have to wait out the night, peek your head out, kill some stuff, go back in. It's pretty simple. Like, it's hard if you don't know anything, but once you have it down, it's pretty easy. So I think that about wraps it up for this episode. So I will see you guys in the second episode of our series. I hope you guys like it. Enjoy, and goodbye.